Hello, welcome to PowerED, a Chat State podcast. I'm your host, Andy Burns, and I'm thrilled to have you join us today on this enlightened journey. Here at Chattanooga State, we're not just about lectures and textbooks. We're about people, our inspiring employees who are dedicated to empowering our students and our community. We'll explore our community members' unique path, discover what drives their passion for education, and uncover the incredible impact they're making both inside and outside the classroom. So whether you're a current student, a fellow colleague, alumni, or just curious as to what makes Chat State so special, you come to the right place. Get ready to be inspired, to learn, and to truly feel empowered. So this is a good day today. So I'm going to ask if this young lady could introduce herself.
Hi, my name's Mollee Shannon, and I'm the director of the forthcoming Academic Success Center.
Absolutely. How do you feel about that? Being a forthcoming director, how does the transition? How do you?
It's been a little bit of a change. So I was the director of the Writing Center. Okay. And then we got funding, the institution got funding to bring all of our tutoring services and academic support services under one umbrella. And that was under our previous dean, Julius Dodds, who was great, and he had a great vision for the college. Yeah. But it's been a journey kind of getting the new procedures in place, but I'm really excited. Our new Reading and Writing Center is already open, and it's beautiful.
It is beautiful. It really is. I think what I got excited about, because Julius Dodds was very instrumental in getting our area set up and functional. And when I say functional, I like the feng shui of it, how it feels. And just to have it connected with you all, the colors, the furniture palette. When we talk about it being new and inviting for faculty and staff, it matches what you all do for students. So it's pretty cool. Got to ask you, though, where are you originally from?
I'm originally from Austin, Texas.
That's crazy.
We're a suburb of Austin, Texas. So I was born in Round Rock, and I did a lot of my growing up in Leander. There it is.
I love the name. I love the name. How did you get here?
So when I was in high school, my whole family moved here. Yeah. And then I started at UTC, and then my whole family moved back to Texas, and I stayed here.
Oh, so you're telling me that Chattanooga won over Texas. So you love the Chattanooga feel now.
Well, I definitely got used to the cooler weather. That was part of it. The mountains are beautiful. Chattanooga's a beautiful city. But I was right in the middle of my college career, and I really wanted to graduate on time. And so, my family went back, and I stayed to finish school. Yeah. And then I ended up here in grad school, and all my professional connections were here in Chattanooga. So I just kind of ended up staying. Yeah,
that's kind of cool. So what do you get your degrees in, may I ask?
Both my bachelor's and my master's are in English language and literature. Yeah. With a focus in women's gender and sexuality studies. Okay. And I'm also currently working on my PhD in English language and literature with a focus in women's gender and sexuality studies at MTSU.
What was your grown-up dream job? If we could
My
say.
grown-up dream job was to be, buried under a pile of books, writing scholarly articles on English literature.
Really?
That was my grown-up dream job. And if you dial it back even a little bit further, I didn't really have a dream job. My dream job was to grow up, get married, and have babies. Okay. Which I haven't done any of that. Now I have this career that I really, really love. So total turning point for me. But I got into teaching at the community college when I finished my master's. And I I love it here. I love the community college feel. Yeah. I love our students. I love the way that they're all such hard workers, yeah. and they have the most amazing stories. Yeah. The students who come into the Writing Center, and they just the obstacles that they've overcome. And the other thing that's nice about working at a community college is that the students who come through Chattanooga State go right back into the community, and they build the community, and they make the community better. And I think that that's one thing that's really beautiful about what we do here, is that we're having a direct impact on our students and our community.
I see that your department does an amazing thing. And what I started to do is just kind of sit and just speak to everybody in a simple hi, and then we end up striking up a conversation. And what I started to learn was, like, how many people outside of your department know not only what you do, but the type of people that works there. So if you could just tell the rest of the campus about what you do and how you all do what you do, what would you want them to know? And how do you mesh and collaborate with other professors?
Oh, yeah. So we work with students all over campus. I mean, the Math Center is such a great resource for students who are doing math for all sorts of subjects. One of our biggest majors here at Chat State is nursing and allied health. And so we have science tutoring for A&P, chemistry, biology for those students, and then of course the reading and writing tutoring.
So you do all that from that area?
Not from that area, but those are all the academic support services that we do offer. Gotcha. And so I think we do a really good job of meeting students where they are. Yeah. And there's no prerequisite for coming into the Writing Center or the Math Center. Yeah. It's just sort of, we're here wherever you are in your academic process. Yeah. And so we do see students who are looking at eLearn and thinking, I don't even know where to click. Oh. All the way to students who are like, I have a really polished draft of an essay. I just want someone to proofread or look over for grammar errors or whatever, and everything in between. So I think that's one of our strengths as well, is that a lot of our tutors have been Chat State students, which is awesome.
That's pretty cool.
And have come back to tutor. Yeah. And they have really great experiences. In fact, 2 of our tutors in the Writing Center right now both have master's degrees and started their college journeys at Chat State.
That is crazy.
As early college students.
Talking about true testimony.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like to come, first of all, as a community college student. So, as my experience started out in community college, and it's mainly because I just couldn't afford a 4-year.
Sure.
So for them to go through and matriculate and get their 4-year and then their master's to come back, like it's amazing. It
really is truly amazing to me. One of our tutors went and she got her master's at Vanderbilt.
That's crazy.
And it's such a great thing to see them come back, and Chat State's still like a home away from home for them. They're so comfortable here, and they remember what it was like to be a student. Yeah. And that's one thing I think we really have going for us in the center. Also, just the huge variety of academic backgrounds. Yeah. We've got people from accounting, people from sciences. Even within the Writing Center, have somebody who's a creative writer, somebody who's majored in journalism. We have our ESL folks who help out with that. We've got somebody who is really good with like American Medical Association style. Yeah. And so we just have people from all walks of academic writing.
Man, I could have used y'all in my dissertation. You are the chair for New Faculty Seminar.
I'm loving it.
Explain what it is and what you do, and then just tell people how you got into it.
So New Faculty Seminar is a series of monthly seminars for anyone who's new to Chattanooga State as a full-time faculty member. And it's designed to help faculty get to know the college, get to know the campus procedures and policies, but also have a support system and kind of a cohort of others who are not necessarily in their discipline, but who are kind of in the same boat as them in terms of learning the job. How do I do a portfolio?
Yeah.
How do I enter midterm grades? So some practical things, but also just having that sense of community and support.
Yeah. And I'll tell you one thing that you do very well. You give them that community and support, but you do it in a way that's very creative. Like I've seen the things that you do, and it's very engaging for them. The thing that I love most about them is that you understand the population and the people that you have, and you incorporate them in their backgrounds. And that's the number one thing that we're trying to do here at the Center for Teaching and Learning. We want faculty and staff to know that we see them as people. You actually bring that out in new faculty seminars. So what are some of the things that you do, and how did you even get that mindset to even produce it that way?
So I just thought, what did I want to know when I was a new faculty member? There's so much information. And I also wanted the tone of the seminar just to be light, and we sit in so many meetings and we absorb so much information. I wanted this to be something that was relaxed, where people felt like they could ask questions, and just because it's work related doesn't mean it has to be painful, right? So we can have a little bit of fun. And like the first day I printed out a bunch of different memes. And I asked everyone to caption the memes. Like, if you had to use these memes to talk about your first week of classes, how would you caption these? And it was just really fun to see what people came up with, but that also created a sense of community because they could all relate to each other's captions. And so then that sparks conversation about, oh yeah, this is something that happened with my classroom, and somebody else can say this is something that happened with mine. Well, what did you do in that situation? And now we're sharing ideas. So it may seem kind of silly, and I mean, it's always fun to be a little silly anyway. But we look at these memes and we create captions, and now we're having conversations about running a classroom, and it's just a really good way to help people get connected with one another.
And I love that. I love the idea of that, because faculty and staff work so hard, and they have times where they have to be serious. They have times where they have to focus. It gives them a break when they can come over to our area and be silly. Like, eventually we're going to have we got board games that we have set up, and eventually we're going to start.
Oh, that sounds fun.
Oh my goodness. We got so many donations from board games, and once we kind of get everything set, we're going to have situations where they can come over. But back to the new faculty seminars. What have you learned about the participants, like the faculty that are coming there? Like, what are some surprises that you've learned that you really enjoy?
So I have learned just how expansive our dual enrollment program is. And, I came from the English department, so I knew the English department was really heavily involved in dual enrollment. But the other subjects that we have in dual enrollment, and just how dedicated those folks are to go out to the schools. And, there's a lot of bureaucracy that comes with public school systems, but our teachers do really, really well. They do really, really well. And bringing that education out into the community, I've been really impressed with that. I've also been really impressed with to learn about the people that come to teach at Chat State after working in the industry.
Absolutely.
And how they're so fabulously qualified, and they really know their stuff. And so it's really been fun to kind of bring that into the classroom. And so your stuff. Now, how do you communicate it to other people? How do you communicate it to students that, how do I andragogically, use a buzzword, how do I andragogically deliver this information with my particular students in mind?
I'm glad that you said that, because sometimes when I'm at seminars or I talk to someone and they ask, how does Chat State do this? I said, well, I could tell you, but I can find an expert on campus that you need to talk to.
Absolutely.
And I've loved that, because sometimes I'll go out and I'll look for stuff to bring back to faculty and staff here, and I realize they're already doing it. So I either have to go and create something, or I have to find someone that's been doing that a 4-year as a research study for the last 10 years. Sure. And it's $30,000 to kind of get in the door. I'm like, nah, we'll stick with what we got.
Yeah.
So it's good that you see that coming in the door, right?
It's great. Yeah. Well, and I think a lot of times there's this like stigma sometimes against community colleges.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you go to community college if you can't go to university, which is not true at all.
No.
We have amazing faculty here.
Absolutely.
Who are subject matter experts to boot. So I think it's so important to highlight that.
So the evolution of Chattanooga State, that one of the things I've actually seen is we have a beautiful mixture, and it's growing, but a beautiful mixture of faculty and staff and the level of support that goes into it. So now the student is like a holistic type of ideal when it comes to their progression and their success. So where most would say, well, define academic success or define student success. Now you got so many resources for them. It's actually a living, breathing type of thing, right?
It's fabulous.
Yeah.
When you look at, so many studies will show that when students are not able to finish their degree, it is rarely due to academic reasons. It's almost always, they've got to work to support their family. It's always financial. And so the fact that we have so many things to help out our students on campus, like our Helping Hands Fund and our Tiger Cupboard, and we even have our counseling services. We really have, and now we have our student health clinic even. So we really have all of the things right here, one-stop shop that students need to be able to finish their degree, which is awesome.
And adding adjuncts that come from industry that understand adult students.
Yes.
That has been huge.
Yes.
Huge. Because like you said, they come from industry, they know the industry, and then you get a student that may have had some challenges for whatever reason, but when they come back as adult students, they're so motivated, and they have understand their life struggles and still may have some of those challenges, but are willing to sacrifice those because they see it, they know it. And when they go in classroom and they have a faculty member that's actually really understanding what they're going through, even down to the assignments, and they give them that same type of encouragement that you come at with out of the resources for the centers that you have. It's a beautiful thing. So it was a natural fit when we got through and started thinking about new faculty seminars. So we want to say thank you. Number one.
Thank you. I'm really enjoying the opportunity.
Thank you. Before we leave, let us know where you are, and so we can come visit you, or if we need services.
Absolutely. So the Reading and Writing Center is in IMC 201. Okay. And our science tutoring services are in the library mobile classroom F.
Okay.
Also in IMC. And then our math center is temporarily, while things are being renovated in the IMC, in Omni 175.
Omni 175.
Yep. So you can find us there Monday through Friday.
All right. Well, that wraps up another episode. If you like what you heard, be sure to subscribe, rate, and review our podcast on your favorite platform. And don't forget to share with your friends, family, or anyone else who wants to be empowered by the incredible work that's happening here at Chattanooga State. Thank you for joining us, and remember to stay empowered. PowerED, unleashing the power of education, one Chat State story at a time.